I'm coming on live just momentarily as I prepare for the New Year's, you guys. Guys, come on in really quick. I'm on my way out the door. Just wanted to give a word of encouragement for 2019. Hello, 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 Tony Chavez. Miami, oh my gosh, I bet you, how's the weather in Miami? Hi, Miss Shirley. Happy New Year to you too, ma'am. Miss Shirley, forgive me. Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Miss Shirley, where are you at? It is beautiful, Mr. Tony. Is that Mr.? I'm sorry, is it Mr. or Miss Tony? I can't see your pictures too well. Hi, Princess. Hello from New York. I'm going to visit New York one day, I'm telling you. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm just going to come in momentarily. Miss Tony, okay, I apologize. Please forgive me. Oh, I bet you Florida is just gorgeous. New York, and I know it's just beautiful. Is it snowing in New York? Dallas. Oh, cool. Just came from Dallas. Came from Bishop Jake's Women That Are Loose. Thank you guys so much for tuning. I'm just going to be on momentarily. I'm not going to stay on very long because I know everybody. I like my diva. I like that. That fits you. Hi, Miss Queenie. Hi, Just Queenie from Holland. Oh my gosh. Wow. What time is it in Holland? Beautiful. I am so honored. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so honored. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I was just going to come on just for a few minutes. I was just going to come in and give you guys a word of encouragement to go into in 2019, 3:48 a.m. And you're with me at 3:48 a.m.? Wow, I am so honored. Thank you so much, Just Queenie. Befitting name for a queen and befitting name for a diva. That's what I'm talking about. And you have a beautiful picture, Miss Shirley. Thank you guys so much. I'm just going to be on a few minutes. I just wanted to give you guys a word of encouragement. Have you guys been watching the videos and tell me what you think about it? Has it been helping any of you guys? Are you getting something out of the videos? I apologize. I don't have my pod, so the cameras are like right in my face on the table. So I didn't have my pods to lift the cameras up a little bit so I can look up in the camera. Have you guys been getting something out of the videos? Has it been helping you guys? 61. Go ahead, Miss Shirley. You look good. I'm going to look good at 61 too. I'm only like 28. Just found you. Love them so far. Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. Can't sleep. Oh, it's your first live chat? Okay. Well, I won't be on long because I'm on my way out the door as well. I'm going to celebrate as well. And so I just wanted to come on. I promised the other day, because normally I come on live on Sundays, and I did not have an opportunity to come on live because I was with family in the healing stage, kind of lonely these holidays. You know what? For those of you, hopefully you watched those videos where I think I did I think it was for Christmas, one of those videos I did, but you know, oh, excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh, but you know what though? Everybody goes through their process of healing, and that's what I wanted to talk about just briefly. Yes, your videos are great. So glad I found you, such a blessing for so many. Oh, thank you. I'm so honored. Thank you. Thank you so much. But I just wanted to come on and encourage you guys. 2019 is a new year, and for many of you guys, I did a video previously. For many of you guys, this may be the first holidays that you're by yourself. The first holiday season. I want you to think like this. Think about what you were going through when you were in that narcissistic relationship. Many people kind of go back. Many people go back because of a momentary, hurtful feeling of loneliness. It's okay to be by yourself. It's okay to be lonely. It's okay to treat you. You have to love yourself first. If you respect yourself, people respect you the way that you respect yourself. You have to set a standard, a standard of how people only gonna, if you don't put any value on yourself, people are not gonna value you. People are not gonna value you. You have to place value on yourself. I said this in a video before, and I want you guys to think about, I want everybody to think just momentarily, think of an automobile, a dream luxury car that you really, really like. The Maybach who's now under Mercedes. You see the Maybach, that the long version of it, where it's almost like the limo version of it, and then you have the smaller version of the Maybach. Then you have the Rolls Royce, the Phantom. Those that like Lamborghinis, a sports car, a Bugatti. All those. Think about all those cars, a Bentley. Think about those vehicles. Now, if you can think for just a moment, think, how many of those vehicles do you see in a magazine? How many commercials do you see of those vehicles being advertised on television? How many people have been on one of those car lots and seen the salespeople run out to beg you, or to hustle you, or to plead with you to come and test drive a car? And what do you think? You're not going to walk on one of those lots and ask, how much money do I put down on this vehicle? And I know that if you come on a lot where you're looking at a Lamborghini, a Bugatti, a Maybach, a Rolls Royce, if you're looking at one of those vehicles and you're coming to test drive it, they know that you have money. They do not spend a whole bunch of money advertising those vehicles in magazines nor on television. You don't see them on television. You know why? Because they understand the value of the vehicle. And so they're not going to beg you to come and buy one, because if you come in to buy one, you have money to afford that vehicle. Well, if we can place that type of value on a car, then why can't we place that kind of value on ourselves? You've been hurt, you've been through a lot of things, and I don't want you to go into 2019 beating yourself up from mistakes that you've made. Some of you guys were in relationship short term, some of you guys were in relationship long term. Either way it goes, it's still a painful process. There are many people, I read like blogs sometimes, and I listen to like how people respond, and people make some crazy comments when they really don't understand what they're dealing with when they're dealing with a narcissist. First of all, if you discard a narcissist, they're very, very competitive individual. They're so competitive. They're very childish. Whatever trauma happened to them in youth. The personalities normally develop, if I remember correctly, personalities normally develop between the ages of 0 and 12. When a person has been traumatized between the ages of maybe like 0 and 3, the personality traits begin to set in. And so a narcissist has been injured somewhere in that developmental stage. And those dysfunctional personality traits are permanent. They don't change. You see those people that are happy-go-lucky and laughy-jokey, so you've connected with a narcissist that has a personality disorder. You didn't know. You went into a relationship, thinking that you want to love a person. You want the person to love you back. You had hopes. You had dreams. You planned your future. But this individual, hey, Miss Jamila, but this individual, hey, Lena Payne, how are you doing? Welcome. I'm not going to stay on very long. I just wanted to give you guys some encouragement into 2019, okay? Because I'm on my way out the door as well. But as I was saying, you got connected with a narcissist, and most of you guys went into the relationship pretty innocently. You went in, you wanted to connect with a person, you wanted to love, and you wanted someone to love you. And so you went in, and you went in perfectly innocent. You didn't go in with the assumption that you were going to go in and abuse or use someone. But a narcissist is not capable or has the capacity to feel compassion for anybody. They don't have the capability of feeling empathy. And a lot of the blogs, and 10 years, that's a long time. So, 10 years of being with a narcissist and being abused and having no idea what you were going through. Now that you're learning it, now you can look back and you look back and you see some of the red flags, but you didn't know what you were dealing with. You had no idea the individual you had connected with. And now it's almost like, oh my gosh, just Jamaica, I went in unknowingly like a lamb to the slaughterhouse. That's what most people that get into a relationship with a narcissist, that's exactly how they go in, blind, innocent, like a sweet little lamb going into the slaughterhouse, just like you said, Miss Jamaica. But you guys, and you have to remember, when you start building up your strength and you're realizing, wait a minute, I have some value, or you start asking questions, you're setting yourself up. And it's not that you shouldn't. Hey, Miss Keita. Hey, Miss Beauty Within. How are you? South Carolina. Hey, all the way on the East Coast, New York. But you go in and you go in perfectly innocent. So you didn't go in, under the thought that you were going to go in and manipulate someone. When you begin to stand up and you realize that you have been, hey there, that when you get into the relationship and all of a sudden you begin to realize that this person has no value for you, and you stand up and start asking questions, you went in trusting, and now you're beginning to see some red flags. You're beginning to see some things that no, empaths are not narcissists, Miss Jamila. But you go in into this relationship, and all of a sudden you realize what you have been dealing with. And so if you stand on your feet and you begin to ask questions, that is almost like a violation to their rules and how they have manipulated and manipulated you in the first place. So if you discard, better believe that they're going to try to get back at you. They're going to punish you, especially if they have not connected with another supply. And it's not that they haven't connected with another supply, they haven't secured the supply, a good supply yet, because you may have been a good supply. And so if you have not secured if they have not secured a good supply yet, and you discard them before they locked in, they're going to punish you. They're going to hoover you. They're going to punish you for discarding them. And if they discard you, the discard on you usually is more painful than you discarding them. Miss Shirley said, I was so young, high school sweetheart. My mother begged me not to marry him. See, a lot of times we do go in perfectly innocent, and then we go back, and a lot of times people on the outside can see more than we can see. I mean, but isn't that, that's normally how it is. We tell our kids not to date someone. We have enough experience to know better. And then what happens? I missed some comments. I'm sorry. Miss Lena said, in the relationship by yourself. Absolutely. You are in the you in the relationship by yourself, because they're all about themselves. They're not about anyone else in the relationship. A relationship takes two people. It takes two people to be in a relationship. Miss Keita said, that's how I found out. I spoke to my mind thinking I was communicating like all adults are supposed to. Exactly. Of course, you're in a relationship, but you're in a relationship because everything about a narcissist is me, 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 me. You know what? You love them and they love themselves too. It's all about them. And when you stop thinking about all about them and you start questioning, hey, what about me? That's like a violation of their rules. They have devalued you. And the thing about a narcissist, they're so smooth, they devalue and don't even realize you're being devalued. Sometimes you don't even realize you're being devalued. Ms. Keita said, you know what I noticed? The love bombing period gets shorter and shorter, and the discard gets more savage. Like they lose respect for you taking them back. Absolutely. Every time you take them back, the abuse gets worse. Miss Shirley said, praying for God to change crazy. Change crazy him. I like that. But you know what? The thing about a narcissist is this. Every time they discard you and you come back, like you just said, they lose more. They don't have respect for you as it is. The abuse gets worse and worse. The abuse gets worse and worse. They have no value for you whatsoever. You serve no purpose. Miss Keto over here on YouTube is laughing at you, Miss Shirley. But every time you take a narcissist back, they devalue and it gets worse and worse and worse. But the one thing that they don't mind is that you either kill yourself or you go crazy. That is almost like the ultimate sacrifice to them. They want you to worship the ground that they walk on. And so I wanted to come and tell you guys, in 2019, I was listening to my mentor talking, and one of the things she was talking about, Miss Tony said, can't they ever seriously love? Nope. I hear no from various videos. Is this true? They can be with you for years, not have some sort of love. Nope, they don't have the capacity to love. If you watch some of my videos, I actually talked about the brain and the portion of the brain that operates in empathy. That portion of the brain, in their brain, Miss Shirley was married for 33 years. Wow. Please say you're single now and loving every moment of it. 33 years. Wow, that is a long time, Miss Shirley. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get off topic. I happen to see the number over here. That's a long time, Miss Shirley. It's a long time for someone to really misuse you like that. And you're beautiful. And I can imagine you probably have a very beautiful heart as well. But you were a very good source of supply. 33 years. But no, they don't have the capacity to love. They can't. Miss Tony said 33 years. She put a little sad face on there. But they don't have the capacity to love. They don't have the capacity to feel compassion for anyone. They don't have the capacity, thank goodness, thank God. But they don't have the capacity to connect with people. They don't have the capacity to connect and form bonds with people. They don't. The only bonds they know how to have is trauma bonds, and they create those trauma bonds to force you to stay with them. I missed some comments. I'm sorry. He says, Miss Lena said, we met at 16. He went to prison for 9 years. I was there till he got out. When the abuse started, I felt sorry for him, thinking it was trauma from growing up in prison. I know now. But they'll use that as an excuse, though, to play with your empathy. We'll look at those videos tonight. Okay. Ms. Keita said, don't be fooled, fam. You think he or she can't be a narcissist because they're insecure and humble. Nah, it's a covert. Well said, Ms. Keita. Let me tell you something. A narcissist can even stay dormant for a while. There are certain things that you notice about them, but because you're a good source of supply. But they're always hoovering somebody. They always have different sources of supply. Remember, they cannot regulate. They cannot self-regulate. Miss Kim. Hi, Miss Kim. Been no contact for 3 months. We're doing great. I can't help but wonder if and when he will rear his ugly head again. Well, let me ask you this, Miss Kim. Do you have any children? Divorced 4 years now, did therapy for a year. Did the therapy help, and did the people doing therapy or the person that was providing you with therapy understand narcissist abuse? Ms. Tony said, wow, mine did 6 years in prison and definitely used his prison time as an excuse. Remember, they know that you guys have empathy, and you guys, the way that you're thinking, which is the average person coming out of a narcissist relationship. Just Queenie said, Keita Cat. True, I had second thoughts because I did not know about narcissism. There you go. But think about it. When you guys are thinking about these narcissists, what you're thinking from a logical, empathetic, compassionate mind. So you're feeling sorry for them. And you feel, and you feel bad. That's how empathetic people with actual empathy think, oh my gosh, he went through or she went through whatever. But remember, they know that you think like that. So they play on that empathy and they play on your emotions. But the thing is they don't think the same way you do. So when you're thinking about a narcissist, you can't think the same way that you think, the way that you cannot think the way that you think with compassion and empathy. You have to think the way that a narcissist think. And they don't have empathy, nor do they have compassion. They do such a great job pretending to be confident. Absolutely. And they're very, very have a very low self-esteem, and they don't have their own sense of they don't have their own identity. That's why they connect with people and create identity. Whoever they connect to is how. Thank goodness. That's good, Miss Shirley. Very good therapist. That's good. My children are, Ms. Lena said, my children are spending New Year's with him now, and a female he met 2 weeks ago. Wow. Miss Tony said, yes, Doc. And Keita said, tell him off. If you give him a good narc injury, he may be too scared to come back. No, Miss Keita, don't do that. See, you guys are thinking from the perspective of a empathetic mind and a compassionate mind, and you're thinking rational. They don't think rational. If you cause a narc injury, they'll do whatever they could possibly do to try to get you back. Don't ever try to purposely cause a narc injury. If you cause a narc injury by leaving, so be it. You go no contact and protect yourself. But if you purposely try to fight them at their own game, you're going to end up getting hurt, because they will do anything to pay you back, anything to get you back. And there's a young lady that's on here. I don't know if she's live tonight with me, but the narcissist that she was connected to waited 20 years and started hoovering her again. So a narcissist does not forget. Their minds are like it. They do not forget, and they will get you back no matter how long it takes. Let's see. Miss Keita said, just Queen, they hide in plain sight, and you don't even know until you know. There you go. Miss Kim said, yes, one son, our custody order gave my son the right to say whether or not he sees or speak to him. Good. Miss Tony said, I'm on depression medication. Therapy didn't work for me, trying to get off this medication. And Miss Keita said, dang, he's been so quiet for months. But don't think that he's not thinking about hoovering you. Hi, Miss Wanda. But don't think that he's not thinking about hoovering you or trying to get back what way or another. You keep that door closed and you stay no contact. Miss Tony said, I'm 49 years old, making 6 figures, and I feel like a fool. But you know what, Miss Tony? That's the thing that we're going to have to work on together as a group, as a family, on Facebook and on YouTube. The narcissist usually pursues, I just stay away, change my number, he's even quiet. But remember, always keep your guards up. Miss Tony, Now, first of all, a narcissist, obviously, you're a very good supply. A narcissist usually will pursue something that they can't have. And remember, they pursue something they will never be. And they're very jealous over you. But they will pursue something that the average person can't have. And they will go all out and grandiose and whatever illusion they have to create to get quality supply. You happen to be quality supply. But hi, Miss Wanda. Thank you for tuning in. But remember this, Miss Tony, you have to, one of the things my mentor said on a video that she did, she was talking about the AA program. And being a therapist myself, a lot of times when people were dealing with alcohol or even drug and alcohol abuse, I may recommend that they go to AA and NA, and I don't bother with that because those programs are excellent programs and they have been around for years. Hey, Miss Whitney, that's my BFF right there. But these programs have been around for a long time, and they're very effective programs, support groups that have helped people stay off of alcohol and drugs, NA, AA, and but they have kept them off. I want you to think for a minute though, and this is just me as a therapist, and I don't put my foot in any other program because it has been very productive for people. Think about it. When they go to AA meetings, what do people always say? Hi, my name is, and I am an alcoholic, right? Think about it for just a minute. How long are you going to be an alcoholic if you've been dry or clean and sober for the past 30 years? Are you really an alcoholic anymore? I understand it's looked at as a disease, but how many times are you going to keep being a victim? And that's what I want you guys to think about for a minute. You guys have been through some tremendous pain. You guys have been through some tremendous trials and tribulations. You guys have really been hurt. Hello, Miss Teresa. How are you? But some of you guys have been through some pain, and the pain is excruciating. I'm not taking that away from you guys. The pain is excruciating. In 2019, we got to come out of this mentality, this victim mentality. And some of you guys, when you guys email me and everything, I can tell by the way that you're talking, you say, I'm a victim, I'm a victim. No, you guys, you're victors, because the average woman may not have been able to go through what you've been through. Each one of your experiences is very unique to you. I may not have been able to go through what you went through, and you may not have been able to go through what, for example, Miss, who was it right here, Miss Teresa or Miss Shirley, each one of you had your unique experiences with these narcissists, but you guys are no longer in it, and some of you guys are recovering from it or thinking about leaving, but you guys are more powerful than you really think that you are. Think about it, because a narcissist does not look for a person, emotionally you may have been weak because you were hurt, but there's something about you that's very powerful and they recognize that. A narcissist will connect with you and they want to tear you down. They suck the life, the energy out of you, and you get and really you have given yourself to this individual. But they're willing, they are, these are the type of, you just don't, there's some like the CDC. You don't go into CDC, it's the you guys come on, help me out. Central Disease Control, come on. You got somebody tell me what CDC is. Something, Department of Disease Control, something. I don't know the acronyms at this particular time, but think about it. You don't walk into the CDC without protective gear on. And so we went into relationships with narcissists without protective gear on. You went in with all your guards down and everything because you didn't know any better. You didn't know there you go. Center for Disease Control, not conflict. Center for Disease Control. There you go. That's it. It is a conflict though, but you don't walk in there and just start messing with the petri trays, without a protective coat on, and so we didn't have the information that we had and got into these relationship, and guess what happens? It's like a disease attached to you. And now think about it for just a minute. Now you're trying to, there you go, Center for Disease Control, Miss Keita. But think about it, now you're coming out of the relationship and some of you guys are suffering emotionally, tremendously painful. I mean, some of the emails that you guys have sent me, I really, I empathize with you, and I have compassion for your feelings, and you're hurting. Some of you guys are really hurting, but you can make it through, and you have to change the way that you think. You can't go, today is the last day of 2018. You have to make up in your mind. You take your power back. You guys are queens. Everybody that's on here is females. Now, I haven't had any guys say anything yet. If I have any guys on here, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. You guys, the women that are on here, you guys are queens. You guys look, I like ancient history. So you go look at like the queens in ancient times were the ones that put the pharaohs on the throne. Think about it for a minute. So the pharaoh had to marry his sister in order to rightfully get placed on the throne. So it was a queen that put a king on the throne. What king can reign if he doesn't have a kingdom? What king can reign if he doesn't have a kingdom to reign? Isn't the woman the one that provides him with a kingdom? Bring him children. So you guys are queens. You guys are to reign. In 2019, you guys stand up. We got to get these shirts. You guys see those shirts? I think it was on Facebook where it says, when you see another queen's crown crooked, don't talk about her, just help her straighten the crown. We need to get some, if anybody gets some t-shirts, get some t-shirts that's got another woman adjusting another queen's crown, because you guys are queens and you need to be adjusting each other's crown. We can do this. You guys can do this. 2019 is a time that we no longer call ourselves victims, because we are not victims of narcissist abuse. We have had some experience, and I talked about the military the other day. When you go into the military, it breaks you down physically and mentally. Those that make it in the military sometimes are not physically as strong as you think they are, but they're mentally capable of making it through basic training. Most people end up leaving basic training because they're not mentally strong enough. They're not mentally capable. They don't like for people yelling at them or telling them what to do, and you ain't gonna tell me what to do, and they end up leaving that way before they leave with the physical exertion that their bodies go through. But they make it through. And I've seen some of the most weakest soldiers make it through the military because they were mentally capable of doing it. Miss Shirley said, I have children and grandchildren with this thing. She said, with this thing. Miss Jamila said, how do you feel with the pain of realizing your empathy and compassion has been used? Hold on. Let me open it up, because Ms. Jamila's asking a question. It says, how do you deal with the pain of realizing your empathy and compassion has been used in the majority of all the relationships in your life? You've recognized it. People are not going to change until they get information about their situation. If you've been watching the videos, and not just mine, I'm not the only person that makes videos, you guys. And I always, I always say that there are people like Quinn Holiday, which is Associate Durant. You have Miss Angie Atkinson. You have Kim Saeed. You have, there's another one, what is her name? Tonya Evans, Melanie Tonya Evans. You have a lot of people out there that teach on narcissist abuse. They teach on empathy. They teach on toxic relationship and predators. The best way, a lot of times I don't tell people to come out the relationship because I have to educate them out of the relationship. And so the best thing, a lot of times, most of you guys, Shahida Arabi, she's really good. I really like her. Hi, Miss Terry. But a lot of times, people are not gonna, I'm gonna make it real simple. Okay, Ms. Jamila, I'm not simplifying this, and I'm not calling anybody dumb. Okay, I'm just gonna simplify this. If your breath stinks and no one ever tells you your breath stinks, you're always gonna breathe in somebody's face. You're always gonna laugh, you're gonna joke, and no one ever says anything to you, right? But if someone finally says, hey, Miss So-and-so, hey, and oh no, just a minute. And if someone says, hey, so-and-so, I'm not trying to disrespect you, nor am I trying to hurt your feelings, but I don't know, maybe it's a bad tooth, or maybe, but your breath smells, but I just want to give you some gum. Please don't be offended. I'm just trying, but, and you do it in the proper way, you don't know that, then you become more conscious of the fact, maybe I need to put gum in my mouth because I talk to a lot of people. But think about it. You would not have known if no one had ever told you anything about it. So if no one had ever told you that your breath stunk, or even that you stink, and someone was kind enough to say something to you without you, being offended. Some people get offended, don't want to listen. And then some people take that as oh, I'm so thankful that you said something. Why didn't anybody else say anything? But if you don't have the information, how can you change anything? Most of you guys are learning. Most of you guys are also learning that because of the fact that you might be an empath, or you may be over empathetic, or that you may be really hurt, emotionally hurt from the families you come from the people that you have dealt with in your past. Now you're beginning to realize people have taken advantage of me. The question, one of the biggest problem that most people have is getting back on their feet, beginning to say no, or standing up for yourself because you feel obligated to make sure you don't hurt people's feelings. But when it comes to your sanity and your growth and your healing, some people's feelings got to get hurt. So hopefully I answer that question, Miss Jamila. If you want me to keep going, just let me know. Let's see. Miss Shirley said she felt like she was just felt like she was felt like just dying, and that is typical for most people coming out of these relationships. Hey, Miss Katina, Sarah Speaks. Yeah, Miss Sarah Speaks is really good too. Let's look. Miss some comments. Let's look. Miss Beauty Within, the Beauty Within said, I know this is wrong and I shouldn't feel this way, but I find myself comparing myself to the new supply. She's 17 years older than me and I'm feeling like she's better than me. Girl, let me tell you this. First of all, you were better than the last supply that he had. And he was probably showing off your pictures and saying something to you to make the other supply feel bad. She's doing the same. He's doing the same thing with her that she was doing with you. Don't compare yourself, because think about it. If you're beautiful and she's beautiful, all they do is get a supply that has more than something else. I can follow you up on via email. Okay. Okay. Don't compare yourself to the new supply. Get off of their social media. Quit Facebook stalking them and looking at the new supply. You got to remember, the same way they did you is the same way they're doing them. You in your happy-go-lucky, grinning and taking pictures state too. Come on, y'all keep it real. And what ended up happening is you got discarded. Now she's doing the exact same thing that you're doing. You're gorgeous. You're smart. You make six figures. She's less than you, so he's throwing that in your face, or she's doing more than you. But they look for supply. They cannot self-regulate. That's like a snake with a warming rock in their tank. They cannot regulate their temperature, so they have to go on the rock in order to regulate their temperature, or the snake dies. Well, the narcissist is the same way. They need fuel, so they have to find supply. Not all supply is sexual. Some supply is intellectual. Some supply is just, the worship that they desire. But they have to have supply. So don't worry. Just the way that they did you, whether it's in a year, a month, or whatever, is the same thing that they're going to do to the other person. Now, you better hope that this individual doesn't kill themselves at some of the stuff that you guys went through, because they may not be mentally strong enough, and they may not know. Just like you're discovering the narcissist, they may not understand or know about a narcissist. So think about it for a minute. Don't compare yourself. You're a queen, and you are a unique queen all by yourself. You don't have to compare. I don't compare myself to no woman. You don't compare yourself to no woman, because you're a queen and you are unique all by yourself. You have qualities that other people have. Think about it. When you were created, the mold was broken. There's nobody else in this world like you. Nobody else in this world like you. Miss Tony said, going to have a better and blessed 2019. You have to purpose it in your mind that you will. The Beauty Within said, the narc has robbed me of my self-esteem and my self-worth. No, he didn't. You gave your self-esteem, your self-worth up. Your self-worth up. I know that sounds harsh. I'm slowly regaining my life back. No, you gave up your self-esteem and your self-worth. No one can take that from you. You gave that up. You gave that up. You still have it. It's still there. You just have to blow all that dust off, all that debris from where you just came from. It's still there. The beauty with, look at your name on your page, The Beauty Within. Come on now. You saw something about yourself. You gave up your self-worth and self-esteem. They can't take your esteem and your worth away. They want you to believe that, but you have to remember, everything that they say is opposite. It's like talking to, they're mirroring you. Think about it. Keita said, Doc is right. The experience exposed my core wounds. Exactly. There was some foundational wounds there, you guys. Some foundational wounds there that you guys didn't know anything about. It lets you know where you need to heal. Exactly. And that's what I do in counseling. When people come in and they're in a narcissistic relationship or coming out of a narcissistic relationship, I go to the core and the root of the pain. And some of that is family pain. Just Jamaica, I'm currently in the United States Air Force. Go ahead. Okay, so I don't know what the Air Force says. I know Army says hoo. Marine says hoorah. I think my who in the Navy, they say hoorah, or whatever they say. United States Air Force. Go ahead, Miss Jamaica. Thank you for your service. Awesome question. Shahida Arabi. Yes, ma'am. Hi, Narc Slayer. Let's look. I'm reading Shahida Arabi's book. Excellent. Ms. Kim said, it has been brought to my attention that I can be really mean to people who are close to me, and I realize that is my defense. I learned from the narc. Now that I see this, I can change my behavior. Do you guys know that the longer you stay in a relationship with a narcissist, the more you pick up on their behavior? And the same thing that my mentor says, the longer you stay in a relationship with a narcissist, the more you pick up on their behavior, where people can mistake you as being a narcissist. And so you've picked up on a lot of behavior and a lot of ways from the narcissist that will make you look like you're a narcissist, and you have some narcissistic what's the word I'm talking, narcissistic behavior, because you picked up on their behavior. So you started doing some of the things. You started mirroring them because they're mirroring you. And remember, they're draining you. And it seems like they never get in trouble. So you start mimicking some of the things that they do. You may have done it unconsciously or consciously. Miss Just Jamaica said Narc Slay is a good channel as well. Mike Waters. Hi there, Mike. Welcome. Reclaim what you gave away. It's yours. See, and this is coming from a guy, you guys. Come on. Hoorah. Okay, Mike. I take it you are a Marine. Just say hooah. Okay, hooah. Thank you, Mike, for joining us, sir. See, now listen, ladies, there's a guy on here that just says, reclaim what you gave away is yours. Come on, so I'm not the only one saying it. You guys just heard this come from a gentleman. And let's see. Thank you, Doc, and thank you for your service as well. Well, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. And see, Miss Lena said, beauty within, you are beautiful and worth love and respect. I know what you're going through. I haven't seen the new supply yet. He purposely makes sure we don't see each other. Come on. So listen, this is what I'm going to say to you guys, because I have to go, okay? This is what I'm going to say to you guys. 2019, we are going to change what we say about ourselves. In therapy, and I said this in my last video, in therapy, they use, and you guys that have had experience with therapy know what I'm saying. They use cognitive behavior therapy, which is CBT. Cognitive behavior therapy is changing your cognitions, meaning changing the way you think in order for you to change the way that you behave. Well, most of you guys who have been in a narcissistic relationship have changed the way that you're thinking because of what someone else has said. Who told you you were dumb? Who told you you had a low self-esteem? Who told you you didn't have any worth? Who told you that? Because it probably either came from the narcissist, or it may have also come from family of origin or family members, because some of you come from narcissistic families. But think about it. Miss Teresa said, what happens if the narc gets with another narc? That's a disaster waiting to happen. Narcs play each other. So they love bomb each other, they play each other, they manipulate each other. Most narcissists can't be with another narcissist because they're doing the exact same thing. That is a disaster. I can tell you that already. That is a disaster because they do the exact same thing to each other. So it's a constant competition. That is almost like a nuclear bomb waiting to explode. Narcissists normally can't get with a narcissist. A hot mess, Miss Keita said. There you and Miss Teresa, Miss Keita over here on YouTube said that's a hot mess. Definitely it is. But you guys, let's go into 2019 and stop calling yourself victims. How long are you going to be a victim? You guys are victors. You can make it through. For some of you guys, 2019 might be that trying year where you're going through your rehabilitation. You're going through to discover yourself. Don't jump right back into another relationship because you're jumping in with open festering wounds. Anybody that works in the medical field know when you come out of surgery, they got to monitor you and give you medication and make sure you don't get staph infections. If you guys jump into another relationship too quick, you're going to get a staph infection, and this time it'll be worse. Miss Keita said, I like that you give it to us straight. I try. Remember, I was in the military. I'm not, a hot mess. Miss Teresa said a hot mess. She loves it, Miss Keita. I try to be very straightforward because my mentor was very straightforward with me. Though it was very painful when she said what she said, but I received what she said. And I appreciated it because it helped me through. Don't hide anything from me. So I don't do that in therapy either. I just say it like it is. I'm not going to tippy-toe around it. We got to get to the point. Let's get straight to the point. Let's talk about this, because some of you guys need to heal. You don't need to go to somebody that's going to flatter you. Remember, you guys are coming out of a relationship with a narcissist. What did the narcissist do? The narcissist mirrored you and listened to what you said and told you what you wanted to hear. So why do you want to get with a professional that tells you what they want to hear, what you want to hear? If you go to a therapist, you shouldn't go to a therapist because they're going to tell you what you want them to hear. Hi, Mr. Robert. He says, hello, I think narcissist abuse for men would be harder to get over than it is for women. It's not easy for a guy in the mid-40s to find someone else. Women can pick up 20 guys a night if they want. That's powerful, sir. That is powerful. You know, that is powerful. You guys, look what Mr. Robert said. And Mr. Mike said, right, the mistake is thinking that they've taken something from you and you think that you gave away your best. It isn't true. You can regenerate your self-worth limitlessly. Come on, you guys. This is coming from a guy. Think about it for a minute. Let me read this again. Mr. Mike Waters said, right, the mistake is thinking that you, wait a minute, the mistake is thinking that they've taken something from you. First mistake. And you think that you gave away your best. It isn't true. You can regenerate your self-worth limitlessly. So think about that. And this is coming from a guy, you guys. Come on. And you guys read Mr. Robert Sunderland's comment as well. Very powerful. And Miss Terry said, you are so kind to spend some time with us. No problem. You guys are getting ready to go into 2019. I want you guys to go into 2019 with a different mindset. Miss Keita said, yes, Mr. Mike. I want you guys to go into a different mindset. Change the way that you're thinking. You cannot get, if you go on a diet, you got to change the way that you think about food, and you got to change the reason why you have to eat to live, not live to eat. But in order to lose weight, it takes a lot of discipline to lose weight. Those that have been in the military, it takes a lot of discipline to get up every morning and go run 15 gazillion miles, push-ups and sit-ups and whatever else you have to do. It's very strenuous. And your body breaks down, after a while, being in the military for a while. But you have to make it a point in your mind to understand that if you go on a diet, and for those that are bodybuilders, those that are going to the gym to lose weight, that takes a lot of discipline to do. So what makes you think your recovery is not going to take a lot of discipline? Those people that have been addicted to drugs and alcohol, it took a lot of discipline. Those that have been addicted to nicotine, it took a lot of discipline to get off nicotine or get off drug and alcohol and stay off drug and alcohol. And some people even said they still like the smell of smoke. But you got to stay away from the secondhand smoke, just as dangerous as smoking a cigarette. So 2019, purpose in your mind, you're going to change the way that you think. And just like Mr. Mike said, your self-esteem and your self-worth is there. You think that they've taken your self-esteem and your self-worth. When you say he or she has taken everything, that is a lie. That is a lie. They did not take everything. You got to get back on your feet and recreate yourself. Sometimes it's a good thing that you've been through what you've been through. And the reason why I say that is because now you know what to look for. You have become wiser. You have become smarter. You have become more observant. It is not that easy just to jump into, hey, Mr. Naylor, you're coming on just as I'm coming off. Welcome. But now you've become wiser. You become more observant. You know what to look for. And then think about it. There are people that are waiting for you to make it through this process. There are people that need to hear your story, because there are people just like you. When you get through your process, somebody is waiting for you to tell your story or to help them through. Mr. Roberts said, I am still too scared to go out. I still feel trapped by her. Is she still stalking you? Miss Tony said, Dr. Brian, thank you for coming live. Well, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. But is she still stalking you, Mr. Robert? Or you can't be afraid. Hey, let me tell you guys something about a narcissist. A narcissist operates off of fear as well. Female and male, they operate off of fear. It's almost like they can smell it. No, I completely blocked her. Is she in the general area that you would be in? That doesn't mean you have to go out on a date or anything. You date yourself. Take yourself out. Ladies, there's nothing wrong with you going out by yourself. There's nothing with taking yourself out to eat, going to the movies by yourself, going to get your nails done, your hair done. There's nothing wrong with you dating yourself. And gentlemen, there's nothing wrong with you dating yourself. There's nothing wrong with you being confident and going out by yourself and enjoying a movie and going out to eat. You take yourself out to eat and read a good book. Enjoy your life. Yes, not a big area I live. Oh, you stay no contact. Don't give her any attention. Don't give her any attention. Be aware of your surroundings. Smart to go out to Robert Southern. You're scared to go out too, Miss Tony? And Mr. Neal said, narcissists are cowards. They definitely are. They talk a big game. Just ignore them. That's the ultimate way to get them pissed. Listen, that's the biggest narc injury you can provide to a narcissist, which is no contact and ignoring them. Now, for those of you that have children that have to stay in contact, it should be at minimal. Going to the movies alone is liberating. Yes, it is, Mr. Risa. If you have children with a narcissist, I know it's a little different because you have to communicate. Keep your communication at bare minimum. Yes, no, this is where you pick them up at. Do they need this? No. Don't get into, hey, how you doing? How you been? Hey, just checking up on you. No, that they don't have that privilege with you anymore. So don't give them that attention. You keep it strictly business. In the military, we call it bottom line up front. Take your emotions out of it. Keep it strictly business. For those of you that do not have children with them, ignore them. Pay them no attention. If they try to call you, if they try to stop and say hello, it's called hoovering. Pay them no attention. Mind your go. They can't do anything to you. You give them the power to do something to you, and they can sense your weakness and your fear. Remember that. Mr. Naylor said, never give them any attention, even if it's negative. Exactly. Ladies, listen. Don't make facial expressions. Don't smack your lips. Don't roll your eyes, because that's still feeding them fuel. That is fuel. They know that you are still moved by them. They still can move you emotionally. Ms. Keita said, please consider making a video about narc bosses one day. Oh, I sure will. I sure can. Do me a favor. I have a lot of people that have sent me topics. Can you do me a favor, Miss Keita, and email that to me? Just as a reminder, there was another topic that someone asked me to do, and I'm going to do that as well. And send me that via email if you can. Dr. Carmen Bryant, DrCarmenBryant @outlook.com. Send that to me, okay? Send that topic to me. Just Queenie said, when I saw my ex, I totally ignored him. Good job. And then Keita said, go Just Queenie. That's what I'm talking about. And Tony said, wow. Yes. Okay. Okay, you guys, look, I have to go. I have a commitment. Mr. Mike said, when you miss them, do something nice for yourself. Embrace yourself and acknowledge that you're doing it for yourself. You're giving you that feeling. Hey, listen, another thing, you guys, when you begin to miss a person, when you begin to miss that narcissist, what I want you to do is remember all the negative things about that individual. Think about all the pain you went through with that individual. Think about how they did you. I want you to think of all the negative things that they did so that you don't go back. Because it's just like when you have trauma bonding, it's that oxytocin in your brain that connects you, that bonds you with a person, or bonds you even with the drugs. So you have to remember, when you leave, hey, Miss Erica, but when you leave a narcissist, that it's almost like withdrawals is so strong, it makes you go look for them again. Miss Teresa said, how about a video on future faking their greatest tool? Can you email that to me as well? My ex tried to give me a Christmas gift. Give it back. Don't take it. Don't accept that gift, because that's like a fishing line. That's a hook at the end of it. Miss Teresa, can you send that to my email, please? Send it to my email so I have it, okay? It says, Mr. Naylor said, I know it's hard, but believe me, look out for yourselves and remember they have life that is pathetic, and they know it's seeing you happy and moving on will eventually push them away. Excellent choice of words. Yes. Ms. Keita said, because this lady about to have me gainfully employed if I have to tell her something. Don't you dare say anything to her. You a queen that is beneath you, and don't you say anything. Absolutely nothing. Stay quiet. You're a lady. You're a queen. Don't you say anything. Mr. Robert said, thank you for helping us all. Happy New Year's to all of us. Yes. Happy New Year, everyone. Go to Quora and look up Axel Salvatore. Very good insight. Okay. And Miss Queenie said, yes. Happy narc-free year, everybody. Hey, you guys, I have to go, okay? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for the emails. Thank you for all the comments. And thank you for being there for all the people that have tuned in too. Thank you, Mr. Mike, Mr. Naylor, Mr. Robert, all of you that have come on, you gentlemen that have come on, have given words of wisdom to these ladies here. Thank you guys so much. You know, take the opportunity, go through the videos. That'll help you. You know, you get this information into your system. Go look at other videos. Go through my videos. And, you know, I probably have answered some of the questions for you. You know, some of the questions that you may have asked may be in some of those videos as well. And remember, when we go into 2019, I want you to go in thinking just like you would do if you're trying to lose weight. Go in thinking, change the way that you're thinking. And then I want you guys to think, whose thoughts are those that you're thinking? Because they're probably not yours. You have not lost your self-esteem, and you have not lost your self-worth. It is still there. Queens, put your crowns back on your head. Straighten those crowns up. Put your head up straight. And you walk into 2019 like a boss, you guys. Walk in like a boss. Gentlemen, for those of you that have went through this, Put that crown back on your head and you walk through 2019 like a boss. We'll make it through. This is an excellent support system here on YouTube. You guys have excellent words of wisdom for people, and you guys are so supportive. Keep on supporting. Go look at some of the comments people are making on YouTube, and please interject. As the following it gets bigger and bigger, sometimes it might be harder for me to respond, and sometimes I might miss some of the comments. But you guys go in and you guys make comments too. This is a us thing. This is not just a me thing. This is a us thing. And you guys are people that have been through this. You guys have. I mean, we have males on here that have been through this, and even though I kind of created it for the women, the men give some excellent advice, ladies. Yes, you bought and paid for yourself. You have no right to assume otherwise. The crown is already yours. Go ahead, Mr. Mike. And Mr. Naylor said, yes, all of you, all the help you can get, Dr. Bryant. She opened my eyes to a lot of my questions. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You guys send me emails. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about. That's what keeps the program going. And a lot of the topics that I talk about is questions that you guys are asking me. If you choose to remain anonymous, just put that in the email. Just let me know not to share your name. A lot of people have asked me to talk about certain things, but they have asked to remain anonymous, just like Miss Anonymous that was on here. Good night. Thank you guys and be safe. Yes, Miss Terry. Hey, you guys have an excellent 2019. Women and men walk through 2019 like a boss. Okay. You guys go through there. You guys heal. Some of you guys are going to go through a healing process. We're here for you. I'm making these videos for you guys. You guys are going to make it through. Okay. You guys have a wonderful 2019. You guys be safe. Do not drink and drive. Go find you an Uber. Go find you a Lyft. Go find you a friend that is non-alcoholic. Let them drive for you. You guys be safe, because I want to see you guys back on here when I go live. Okay. Hey, you guys are wonderful. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank each and every one of you guys for coming and supporting me. And thank you for finding some value in what I have to say. You guys have a awesome 2019. And remember, men and women, straighten up your crown and walk into 2019 like a boss. We need to get a t-shirt on that too. Okay. We're going to walk into 2019. We're just going to walk like a boss. That's what we're going to do. Walk like a boss. Hey, Happy New Year's to each one of you. And like my friend always says, go and be great. Thank you guys. Go and be great. Okay.